I'm actually just going to pass this week. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Only Football. Next, by Michael Holder. Mike, what do we know? Eh? We just wild game, wild sport. Football is. I mean, my goodness. You know, let's just see. I'm just going to check our volume quick and just make sure all good there. But I didn't change anything. But man, yeah. Okay, we're okay. What was it? The week before, we were confident Inter would kind of walk Napoli, got a draw there. And then last week, Spurs City. Let's open up there, man. I think
Spurs City?
Yeah, I think we both had 3-0. I might have had a 2-0. I know you had 3-0.
Yeah, I thought it would be a comfortable win. Spurs on a 3-game losing streak. It looked like the rails were coming off. But impressive performance. It could have been more. It could have been 3-1, 4-1 Tottenham. But Union City was always going to fight to the end. Once they went to VAR for that penalty, I was like, oh, of course they're going to snake out this win. I was
all for the draw. It was actually a bad result for United.
Oh, you wanted to draw, yeah. Yeah, for you guys, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Arsenal fans and United fans just I'm just cursing City.
Well, at least it's a title race, though.
It would have been a title race with a draw, selfishly speaking.
But it's within one game now, and you still have to play each other.
I know.
Hopefully they can keep it within 3. So when that game comes, it's even bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But great game. It's a neutral fan. And that's why you love soccer, right? Or footy.
Easy, Mike.
No, but it was one of the games of the year so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was like, once it was tied, I was like, there's still a lot of time left, but I'm not expecting Spurs to really, make that move. And
yeah, I thought they would just hold on. I know City were pissed after the penalty was given that they didn't send him off. I'm like, that's a bit harsh.
No, absolutely not.
That's a bit harsh. It's just a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously looking back at it, they're still pissed because they lost the game and they could have maybe saved the point or even won it. But knowing them, they probably would have snagged the goal in the 97.
What if they were man up?
Yeah, man up.
That never even crossed my mind. That was going to be a red card. It was a cross going outwards into the box.
Oh, they got yellow. Second yellow.
Was he on a yellow?
He was on a yellow. That's why. That's why. He was on a yellow.
His hand was really up there.
Yeah, so that's why.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't realize that was Romero, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was on a yellow.
He got it like 10 minutes earlier when there was like a corner and he was. I don't even know what it was, but they didn't show what he did. But he got it. Yeah, the ref just stopped the corner from being taken. Mm-hmm. Talked to both of them and gave Romero a yellow. So I'm like, okay, well, if there's an infraction in the box off the corner, wouldn't it be a penalty? Like, why are you stopping it? I don't know, but yeah,
it might have just been some jawing beforehand, especially if the corner hadn't been taking it. But actually, now that you mention that, I actually think I would have given a second yellow for that.
You would have?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those. It's on the referee's discretion.
It's not egregious. It's not an egregious non-call, but I think I would have.
Send them off.
But it's that the Spurs are just their Pep's bogey team.
Yeah.
Southampton too, but especially Spurs. It doesn't matter who's managing.
You just can't beat them.
Everyone's beaten them since Poch. Even Nuno.
Yes. Yes, that is true. And it seemed to bring the best out of the City. Seems to bring the best out of Tottenham, and it was reminiscent of the Champions League quarterfinal. What was 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And that game was wild.
Yes, it was.
This ending was wild. It was a good game. A few disallowed goals. Great saves from both keepers, except in the first half for Lloris.
Again,
the spill is
he's
3 for 3.
Bad run of form that man. Up and down with Lloris, never really quite consistent, but he'll go in his great veins of form as well. But he's in a bit of a rough spot right now. Title race wide open, and that's the name of this episode. I mean, we are right back. Liverpool's making that. Their game in hand up on Wednesday against Leeds, who they should thoroughly pump.
And they're at home too, right?
They're at home. Yeah. I think that's going to get pretty ugly.
And with that day's less rest too, after just coming back from an exciting game against United.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were probably furious for about a minute there.
Well, no, good. I would say how long is it tied for? 15 minutes? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I was furious for about that period of time. Interesting substitutions that panned out by Rangnick. Pogba, still coming back from the injury, but was, putting in like a man of match performance again. And the game's tied. And you take him off for Fred the Red.
On the road, it's Fred on the road.
Yes, you are a big.
He should be a shoo-in. Every road game, home games you can start McTominay, Pogba, but road games you got to start Fred.
Good finish. It was a great run, actually. Just after you laid it off to Sancho, just making that curling run around Sancho for the layoff. Really, really intelligent run. Kind of lost everyone there. Melier arguably could have done better there.
Yeah, near post.
On the near post, but he did get some good pace on it.
Yeah.
Of course, De Gea makes a mistake on that Rodrigo cross.
That was the stinker.
Every
10 games.
Every
10 games.
Name me another one.
Oh, every 10 games.
Name me another one this season.
I told you the Bernardo Silva goal.
Okay, so that's a 2. How many games have we played?
25. So he's due for one in the next.
How many tournaments are 25 in the Prem?
In the Prem, okay. Well, there's probably some.
Are you just trying to wind me up right now?
No.
So you genuinely think that De Gea is he's very questionable.
Informed keeper in the Premier League.
Absolutely, 100%. That's a year and a half easy. I would say even 2 seasons. Last season he was remarkable as well. He had one bad game against Everton, and that was about it. I think couldn't save pens, but that's okay.
And yeah, it was a great game. Neutral site. I only tuned in for the second half, but that's all I needed to tune in for. And I know Maguire, finally ends the drought, the corner drought.
Yeah. He's good at getting his head on corners.
Yeah,
he just usually pops them up into the 10th row.
Rosette.
But again, Melier on that one didn't know what he was doing. Like he came out halfway, and if he just stood put, that would have been an easy save.
I
was right down the middle
between 2 decisions, going and staying. And as a keeper, you just got to make your mind up early and pick one and live by it.
I think you got to give that. I mean, listen, I don't like Maguire. I think everyone knows that. But without Melier, that goal doesn't happen.
Yes, I agree with that. But it was a big goal, get the game off start, and then a few minutes later, you get the second one, Bruno.
No, it wasn't a few. That was right before the end of the half.
It was like 10 minutes. It was like
when did we score? We scored like the 30th, right? And then we scored right before the end of the half. Yeah, and that was a great run by Lindelof. Two great plays on the ball, and then a great little dink from Bruno. From Sancho, who's in really good form right now. Like it was really odd. We're getting the Sancho that we expected. It was really odd that Ollie just wasn't ever playing him.
He needs a consistency. Obviously, it's a new league. Played in England years ago, but
it's not like we were playing well. I understand kind of vetting him in gradually, but the form that we were in before Ollie got fired, he still wasn't going to Sancho. It was strange.
Yeah,
and he has been a difference maker for us.
The last few games,
for sure.
You gonna pick him up in fantasy?
I did have him for a very brief period. I didn't hold on to him. It was actually I picked him up before we played Chelsea. And he scored against Chelsea when Jorginho lost the ball in the lights. And then I had him for 2 more games after I let him go. And I'm actually considering, I think I might actually pick him up. I would have to drop Ronaldo, though. I have the 3 most expensive players.
Oh, that's a lot of Kane.
And Ronaldo, I've had him for the last but I've got Ramsey and Gordon. So that's why. And Ramsey and Gordon are for $4.5 million. I have no problem having those guys on my team.
Yeah. Rare start for Lingard. How do you think he played?
Underwhelming.
Did they make the most of the opportunity?
I don't think so. I didn't really notice him. I thought he was a little ghostly, and both subs scored. Brings on Elanga. Should have actually made it 4-2 beforehand. That said, we were also fortunate. McTominay's got to kind of reel it in here.
Oh, he almost got a red. That should have
a second yellow.
It was like he had
but he's been
6 tackles.
But who did we play? Brighton as well. Same thing.
Yeah.
I like McTominay's mentality. I do. I absolutely don't think he should start. But I do like his mentality, but someone needs to, kind of reel him in a little bit because we're going to take a bad red card soon from him. It's coming.
It's absolutely controlled anger. Once he sees red, he kind of loses focus and maybe gets too into it with the defenders or the opposition. But he's got to learn manage the emotions and the anger, and a lot of that was just maybe he got knocked 20 minutes earlier from the guy. He took his number and was waiting for his opportunity. But you could sometimes just got to play smart and to the score of the game, right? You're up 3-2. You don't need to do anything stupid. You're on the road.
Yep.
If you do something stupid, the crowd can get into it. The other team can get some.
They already had plenty of cause to be into it as well. I mean, I wonder had who was there for that game? Tierney? Might have been Tierney. Had called the second yellow. You just with United's mentality. The mentality showed like they bounced back after conceding 2 goals in a minute to lowly leads. But they would they have been able to actually maintain a 3-2 lead and man down at Ellen Road? I don't know.
It would have been. The defense is not your forte right now. And
not much is, Michael. Not much is.
No, but overall great weekend for football. Even Norwich gave Liverpool a little scare, and at one point we're thinking, oh gosh, this league could be over. It could jump to 12 points if Norwich managed to hold on, but Liverpool they were the better team.
Yes, absolutely.
The goals should have come earlier.
Some big misses. Tsimikas with a huge miss. That goal by Mane, my goodness, like that was some Bruce Lee shit right there.
Yeah, it was a great goal, and
Salah's goal, like the control. I mean, great pick out by Allison, but the control was sensational.
And you thought you squandered it a bit. I'm like, okay, lay it off. But
yeah.
he went for it, and wrong-footed both defenders, thinking he was going to the far post, and he just rolled it in also slowly. But I was elated because triple captain.
We both have triple captain lead, yes.
And I need at least one good game because you might not play the next. But it seems like Firmino and Jota are out, so
I don't see them rushing either of them back. Firmino especially, Jota, based on what Klopp is saying, seems like it might be a little touch and go. So I definitely not push. I don't see them pushing it for Wednesday against Leeds. I really don't. I think Diaz, what a sign. They're finally I think a number of Liverpool fans, especially, I would agree with them. Have to agree with them that for the last year and a half, they had to be bolstering that front line. Salah and Mane can still go on for another 3 or 4 years at a pretty top level, I would say. But even that might be pushing it. And finally you bring Jota. He's been hitting the ground running for a year and a half, and now you have Luis Diaz as well. And
you got some new toys, and at least you get some versatility. Origi and Minamino, they get some minutes every now and then, but they're not really difference makers on that team. They would be great players on other teams, but for this team, they're
not the level.
Yeah, they didn't show that they should be in consideration for starting. And Luis Diaz is a great signing, and gives Klopp another toy to play with and a little weapon.
Absolutely. And so I guess you got that same front three again
against Leeds.
Hopefully
they can get the job early and
unless
they some of them off at the rest, right?
Unless he does like an Origi over Mane in the middle. He did Mane up top against Norwich on the weekend. Maybe he throws in Origi, but I don't think you want to be screwing around. You're right there. You're in the title race. And those guys are in great shape too. Like they have pretty good track records in terms of injuries as well.
Yeah.
And fatigue doesn't really seem to be an issue for Mane or Salah. So, I think you got to play those three for sure. All right, Mike. Let's move on to your baby Serie A. And someone riddle me this, please. Let's say just even the top 5 leagues, but if you can remember, any other league. I guess Benfica is a top 5 league right now. Pepper, welcome. What did I miss? Girlfriend was talking my ear off. We just wrapped up. Yeah, just Prem right now. We just wrapped up Spurs City and talked a little bit United, Leeds, and what Liverpool might be looking to do in the next couple against Leeds anyway with their injury crisis. Not crisis, but some serious injury problems up top anyway. And now we're off to the Serie A. So if anyone can please let me know. I will buy you a beer and a shot. Please let me know. Last time, top 5 leagues or anyone, the top 7 teams on one match week didn't record a win. And that's what happened this week in Serie A. Wild.
I know. Bottom feeders. What a week, eh? It started off with Juve against Torino. Obviously a derby, a big match. We got the game on the Friday, because we had the Champions League on Tuesday, hoping that we can get a good result. But we have no center backs, and guess who has to play center back?
Danilo.
No, he was suspended.
Well, I'm talking about against Villarreal.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about this week. We have to play Alexandro.
Yes, sir. Yes, Pepper. Go ahead and just throw it in there.
We're tracking it for the 3 seasons.
Okay, dirty stat coming from Pepper. Mike, keep going. Pepper.
Yeah, but we didn't look good. Torino was better than us, and they should have won. We had no It was a disconnect between the midfield and forwards. I don't like when Allegri, at the first few games that we tried it with Dybala, Morata, and Vlahovic. It's worked, but I don't think it's something you could stick by game in and game out. You need to get more midfielders into there. If Danilo comes back, Cuadrado has to be up there. McKennie, Artur should be rotating in for Rabiot. But thinking that starting the weekend, it's just like, oh God, we drop points at Atalanta. If they win, they're going to tie us on points and have a game in hand. This is awful.
Yep.
But it seemed to be the opposite effect in Serie A, and all the other teams just couldn't take advantage of.
Well, yeah, they absolutely could not. And it was to start the week, the top 7. The teams starting the top 7 didn't win. Fiorentina, with their win, and Roma drawing, jumped Fiorentina. Jumped Roma into 7th place. But to start the week. Also, Pepper, I imagine that like as you, anyone else watching, share with your friends, like and subscribe, please. Now, Pepper, let's get to you quick. It's got a stat saying the teams playing midweek usually draw or lose in the weekend fixtures. It's very, very consistent. And then he says, surprised my boy Ziyech, big Chelsea fan Pepper is, was even able to seal the deal against Palace. Was even able to, which we traditionally struggle against. Well, we'll touch on Chelsea when we get to the Champions League preview. Also a huge stat there. I would also, I can definitely see, playing midweek, if there's like kind of like 1 or 2 games midweek, like there's not too many teams, then like those guys dropping points come the weekend with the tired legs. I'd love to hear the actual percentages on that because gambling.
future consideration.
But Mike, some really like bad finishing abound in this in Serie A. Cagliari today against Napoli. They are in the relegation spots. I think they're 18th, I believe, and they would have gotten out. And they did you watch those highlights?
No.
Did you watch the match? Man, some shocking misses. Mrs. Materazzi was fuming. There was a double miss.
He's the manager?
Yeah.
Marco Materazzi? Oh, wow. Yeah. Good for him. Oh.
Am I wrong?
The 06 legend.
No. Sorry, no. Who am I thinking? Sorry, no. I totally botched that. No. He's an old manager. He's an old Italian manager. Why did I say Materazzi? Mazzari. Walter Mazzari.
I was like,
my mistake.
Materazzi.
Sorry. Thank you. That was a big slip. Like a huge double. They're up 1-0. Ospina. I was kind of happy to see him having a bit of a stinker because I really don't like David Ospina at all, especially after the 2018 World Cup. Like I didn't really mind Ospina. Like I was like, okay, he's just like he's not good enough. Like Arsenal get rid of him, fine. And then I really like that when he was on Colombia for that 2018 World Cup, just the amount of diving by a keeper. It was appalling.
Cagliari couldn't finish. They could have put the game away multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was one double chance where header really should be put away, puts it right back into Spina, who reacts well, and then it falls to an unmarked Cagliari player, and he skies it from like 8 yards out. Other chances other than that, but that was the big one. Mazzari like losing his mind there. Pepper saw it. It was really poor, and it wasn't only in that game. The Atalanta match, some bad finishing by them, and wound up costing them. Although I will say, did Juve? They must have greased the wheels on that Malinowski offside.
Oh, I didn't see any of the highlights.
You didn't see it?
No.
So
it was not offside?
They called. I don't know who was making the run. I don't know who's making the run. So the ball's coming in from the left, and then there's a Atalanta player.
Yeah.
Whose arm is offside, and like it's just the arm as well, and the ball goes past him easily to Malinowski, and he slots it home, and they called that offside.
Really?
They called it offside, man. I was
interfering into play.
Yeah, that's what they're calling there, and there was no interference whatsoever. It was a great ball in, and it was shocking.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I'll take it all day, every day. I would like to see you play in Champions League. But,
Did you fund them?
I would hope. If I could, I would. But not complaining. And it's this was a weekend for the top three: Napoli, Milan, and Inter to maybe pull away, but no team did.
Nope.
And
Milan to Salernitana.
That was 2-2, right?
2-2. Bottom of the league there, and versus top of the league, and AC had to claw it back. Sassuolo took it to Inter. There was one really bad miss by Martinez at 2-0. And then Lazio ended up drawing Udinese as well. I don't know why Immobile. I was trying to look into it. Why Immobile didn't play for that match. I'm not seeing an injury on the surface. I searched his name.
Rest, probably.
It's a weird one. But
they played. Are they in conference?
Yeah. No. They're in Europa.
Okay.
They're playing Porto. They're playing Porto.
Oh right. Yes.
So yes.
Porto 1-2-1, right?
Quickly, Porto 1-2-1. Yes. So let's just quickly preview. Jumping to the weekend for Serie A, one big match, Napoli third place, and against Lazio. Lazio hosting. Now, I really think personally that the fatigue from their they have two big Europa League tests. They're both at home, so there's not much traveling involved for them, which is good. But Napoli has Barcelona and Lazio has Porto. They're both in the tie. It's 1-1 for Napoli, Barca, and Lazio's down 2-1. So, this could actually we could end up getting some extra time here as well.
Yeah.
On both accounts.
Yeah. Are we going into Europa League or no?
No. We'll see that for the semis. Yeah. Although I have to say I am intrigued by the Europa League this year. A lot of good matchups, man.
Yeah, and I just realized there's no more round of 32.
Round of 32
because of the Conference League, which is good. Thank God.
That is good, and it was really Rom and I were messaging each other about this. We're because on FOTMob, there's obviously 8 matches listed, but it says round of 32. What's going on here?
They still haven't got the memo. But, no, but Europa League will be good this year. With a lot of Dortmund. Well, Dortmund's out now.
Are they? Are they? What can you expect from Dortmund? They lost 4-2 at home to Rangers. Embarrassing, and then they go and beat Gladbach 6-0.
Yeah,
on the weekend.
I don't think they'll smash Rangers, but
what? That's won by 2 goals.
It was 4-2. Was 4-2?
There's no road goals.
There's no road goals. Yeah. So maybe they're not. Did they bag a late one? It was 4-1.
It was 4-1, but they were losing 4-2. No,
I thought I ended up. You think Lazio has their head in for Europa League and then might not play as well against Napoli?
I honestly think I think the fatigue in this match is just kind of kill the game. I think both teams wouldn't want to make a mistake.
It's a cagey match.
And you wouldn't expect it from either of these teams, but I think coupled with coming off the back of what is most likely going to be an intense Thursday match for each team. And the fact that Napoli's trying to stay in a hunt. If they pick up a draw on the road against Lazio, it's not necessarily a terrible result. And Lazio, definitely wants to secure a Europa League spot, but they're not out of a Champions League. They have an outside chance of a Champions League spot too. So a draw here isn't that bad for them either. I'm going to 0-0.
0-0.
I think it's going to be
cagey. No,
I think it's just going to be dull. I think they're just going to be kind of gassed and cagey. I think it's a combination of both. And I know we're talking about Lazio and Napoli here, who are historically two of the most entertaining teams in the Serie A.
Yes, and again, a given day because goals are usually scored at these matches, either one way or the other, or even both teams. Yeah, I think there will be goals too.
Pepper says it'll be a draw, but he thinks there'll be goals.
I think it'll be Napoli 2-1. Lazio, taking a 1-1.
Okay.
I think the how would I word this? The push for possible league. I think Napoli will take that over any Europa League. The under 3.5.
Hey, you know what? Under 3.5 against with Napoli Lazio could be, all right still.
Yeah.
You think it's pretty safe. I think it's safe in this instance, but I bet you they're a little higher than you'd expect.
Yeah, and with Juve not being in the top 3 or near a title contender, I think Napoli think they actually do have a legit chance to hopefully maybe squeak out this league. I don't think it will happen, but I think if they were to put all their eggs in one basket, it would be for the league. And they have a realistic shot. And it's not like when they came second back-to-back years with Sarri behind Juve, and they had incredible points totals for, I think, like 80-something, 85, and still coming 10 points, 8 points behind Juve. They didn't overachieve those years, but they overperformed what everyone else did. And they aren't on that same point level as they were with Sarri, but they're right there. They're 3 points back if Inter wins the game, 2 points back now. If Inter win their game, they're 3 points back, and they have a chance. They still have to play Inter, right? Oh no, they just played Inter. But Inter could drop points, especially if they go far in Champions League might not. If Inter drop out against Liverpool, which I think they will,
yes,
they'll do exactly what they did last year and just focus on the league and maybe run away with it. But hopefully,
look at this run of form that they're on right now.
Horrible. But they didn't play too badly against Liverpool, though.
No.
It was just
no, they didn't. But it's that second goal definitely kills off. There's no way they wouldn't. There's no way they're winning by 2. I'd love it if they did, but it's not. It's not going to happen.
I think Napoli will win 2-1. Keep the pressure on both Milan teams to win it out or to at least put pressure on them. But it would be. I really can't see 0-0. There has to be goals in this game.
No, fair play.
Both teams have too much to play for. If this was like round 35, 34, maybe, right? Because it's like every point counts, and I can see more cagey match. But having the fixture early on with so many games left, I think there's still a lot to play for. So both teams are gonna go for it. I just don't think Lazio is as good as Napoli.
So where are you going?
2-1 Napoli.
2-1 Napoli. Okay. All right. Champions League.
It's back, baby.
It is back, and then it's going to be gone for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Did they? Why?
Well, it's usually like this, right? The round of 16 is usually like a 3-4 week gap between both games. It usually is.
I don't like it.
And then it just picks up for quarterfinals, semis, and finals. Because they do because they do it because some leagues are coming back from
breaks, and they have to like make some games okay. Fair enough. Okay, so 4 games to preview, starting with Chelsea and Lille. I thought Chelsea was on the road for this one originally, but they are not.
Because they're the second. They're second in the group.
Yeah.
I know. No, but they are home. Lille, horrible season for them.
Get your popcorn, Pepper.
They were lucky to get an easy group so they can win it. But their league form and their overall form this year hasn't been up to par. It's mostly their defense. They're letting in goals left, right, and center. Yes, we know Lukaku
out immediately.
Is not liked by the Chelsea fans.
Well, nothing. Last time Pepper was like really involved in the chat, it was I think the week after he came out with those those comments came out, right?
Yeah.
And you were talking about if Lukaku scores some key goals, are you still going to be kind of ribbing on him? And he's kind of disappeared even more so since, to the point where he had a total of 7 touches against Crystal Palace on the weekend. Michael, is that a record? Is that some kind of record?
For him, probably.
For him, it's got to be.
I don't know. I think there was a weird stat like a year or two ago with someone. They had, I think, 5 touches, and 3 of them were kickoffs. So
was that Kane?
No, I don't think it was Kane, but it was someone big. I can't remember who it was. But
okay.
in this tie, Lille is not really a big team. Obviously, they're the French champs, so
it is. Pepper says Pepper is fully down. He said, "I don't care if he wins the Golden Boot." And yes, it is a Premier League record
for least touches. Wow. Astonishing. Yeah. Maybe that one was in a half. I did, but it was I heard it, but it was he did score 2 goals in the Club World Cup. Helped you secure that that trophy. But as you always say, Lukaku performs against the low level teams.
Yes, he does.
Against the big teams, he doesn't.
Can't even do Palace anymore.
Lille might not be a big team, so he might get some goals in and change the tide. But you paid that much for him, he's got to play. And it might not be to the Chelsea fans liking, but you have to try and at least
get him rolling here.
Right?
So we're not going like so quickly. Pepper, first player to play 90 minutes and only have 7 touches. Lukaku out fraud. We'll take Giroud back. He's doing some bits at Milan.
It's too late. It's too late.
Yeah, you treat him too poorly.
I don't see this going any other way, but 2-0 Chelsea.
Werner, do you give Werner the start up top, or do you think this is like kind of more or less your not last chance to get Lukaku going here, but you know you gotta
bring him off the bench early. Obviously, Lukaku won't be happy if he's subbed off in the 60th, but you know the way he's playing, you have to, if you're not scoring goals, you got to give someone else a chance to maybe do that. But you know, good draw for them. Don't see them losing this game, especially at home. 2-0, and I can see it being like a 1-0 on the return, like in France.
Yeah,
Lille, but for this leg 2-0, I don't want to spend too much time on it.
No, fair enough. I mean, I think maybe call it bias, but I'm sensing a Jonathan David goal here, and just because he's already garnered like a lot of attention from Premier League teams, I think this can also be another way to raise some more eyebrows around the league and some top clubs. He's been electric, and I think they can just kind of nick and surprise them with a goal, but Chelsea labor to a win. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. I really wish Galtier were in charge of this right now, but I did take the time to actually remember his name. It's Jocelyn Goulvenec, who is their current manager. I always refer to him as the Lille manager because they lost Galtier, and he's like, okay, he's the guy from Guingamp, and that's about it. Laborious Chelsea win. Pepper, quickly. Werner, Ziyech, and Captain America are all gone the summer window. Play them. You think so, eh? Honestly, I wouldn't mind Werner at United. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, for you, that would be a good signing. What else are you going to get?
No, I mean, hey, listen, I'm doing the rebuild, okay? It's coming, all right? Just tune in. The rebuild episode's coming. You'll get a list there, but I'm not opposed to Werner. Okay, let's go on to Villarreal, Juve, Mike. Take us away, please.
I'm scared. I'm terrified. Villarreal, they had a crushing win over the weekend, 4-1, right, or 4-0. But I don't know what to expect from this Juve team from week to week. I don't, we're on the road. I don't see us scoring a lot of goals. Our defense is shaky. This should be hopefully a win, but it's a 1-1. This has 1-1 all over it.
I also have a 1-1. But you know what? You take that.
I would take it too.
You take Villarreal's in really good form. For the last 2 months, they've been in very good form. In the last 4 matches in La Liga, 3 wins, 1 draw. They draw 0-0 against Real.
Yeah.
They've only conceded once. I think they've scored about 8 goals in that time.
Then Juma's on form.
Lo Celso's you kind of hit the ground running. He's happy to be back in La Liga. I was really excited to see Lo Celso and Fekir play together. When they brought in Fekir, then they immediately sold Lo Celso to Spurs that summer. Yes, everyone's got it. It's a 1-all all around. But you know what? I think Villarreal did themselves dirty.
I just hope we make it to the quarters. If we lose to Villarreal, that's our season.
Well, I think Villarreal did themselves dirty, not dropping into the Europa League. I do.
I'm hoping.
It's more Juve's league. I know you guys are a little bit shambolic right now, but you're gonna have to start Danilo at center back, I believe. I don't think he can. Dulet's been in good form though.
Yes, scoring the goal and
defensively he has.
He has to because Bonucci, Kennedy are always in and out injured. We're getting older, right? We need to get younger guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully, Rabiot does not see the field in this one.
Really, eh?
No.
What are you doing? 4-4-2, Zakaria, Locatelli, Quadrado on the wing,
and McKennie
on the wing. Okay, yeah. But you know what? That's you have a good defensive mindset with that setup. I know you're a little exposed at center back, but defensively, your midfield will take on that responsibility. No one's gonna be lazy in getting back.
They shouldn't be.
No, and I don't think they will be. So yeah, I think I like it. You get the draw. The Villarreal would be happy with the draw as well, just to be hanging in the tie.
Yes.
You wonder, does Villarreal feel like the onus should be a little bit on them? Juve's a little.
If I'm Villarreal, I'm attacking us. I'm putting the front foot on Juve. They haven't shown that Juve can can break down a team or even control a match 90 minutes. We always have at least a lull of 20 minutes where we don't have the ball. We're sitting back too much. We just got to be able to.
Sorry, quickly. Pepper says your team is piss poor form, but I don't know who he's talking to near you.
Probably Juve. Probably Juve. Both of our teams, yes, but I would say Juve more. At least United, they get the results. You're not always the good. They get the results.
Calm down.
But no, 1-1.
Okay.
Biting my nails for the second round.
Juventus. Okay. Yes. And Dybal's out, unfortunately. But you got.
Yeah, but the injuries hopefully is not too bad. He did stop, but he did sub himself off before it got worse, and thank God he did. But injury prone. Yep. Our whole team's injured too, so it's not going to look good.
No, you guys definitely need a center back.
We just need to make Champions League. That's all top four. That's all I care about.
Okay, on to Wednesday. And personally, I'm a little frustrated because the one team I'd want to watch over everyone except for United, and I don't really want to watch United just based on an aesthetic point of view, but it is Ajax. So, and of course, they draw the exact same time slot in day as United. So let's start with Benfica and Ajax. I'm going to watch this game back. The family's going to, once they're asleep, I'm watching that back on Wednesday. Excited. I want to keep an eye on how Ten Hag's doing. I know how he's doing. The guy's been there for 4 years. He's incredible. He's incredible. Anyway, I have a rebuild episode. It's coming. 70 goals. This is their Eredivisie stats. They have 70 goals for, and they have conceded 5. Shocking. It's actually mind bending. It makes you question reality. How good they are.
And they're not even running away with the league.
They're not. They've lost twice somehow. They've somehow lost twice. They have a 5-point gap now. But it was not a month ago where they were actually in second place. But man, the team is just so entertaining. And,
they're a legit dark horse. No, I don't think they're a dark horse anymore. I think they're a favorite. I think I would say 4th or 5th favorite.
Yes, I would have to agree with that.
And I if they made the semi, I wouldn't be shocked. Depending who they got, unless they face City, Liverpool, or Bayern. But even Bayern lately, Bayern. I think I would take Ajax over Bayern at this moment. I wouldn't have said that a month ago. Mm-hmm. But I don't see any way Benfica can win this game.
Neither do I. And it doesn't have to be the glitzy performance that many people might just expect from Ajax on the surface. They're very sound defensively. One of 3 teams to go perfect in the Champions League group stage this season. But defensively, also very sound. You have the likes of Urian Timber, I think is someone people should definitely keep an eye on at center back, 20 years of age. And, this just has to be controlled. I think this is a match. This is a tie or a draw, I should say, that, you kind of set the defensive foundation for the rest of the tournament. I'm not, you don't get carried away and think that you're just going to walk this. Personally, I think they will if you actually stay focused. But you set the defensive cornerstone going forward in this tournament and for the second leg of this tie. You don't have to, run and gun at them like they are capable of, but just make sure you're not letting any balls over the top. Just kind of suffocate the midfield and know that they have Benfica sit back on you and know that you can pick them apart through the middle with Gravenberch, Berghuis, and who else? And Alvarez, even Klaassen as well. So personally, I think you go with probably Klaassen kind of plays off the right. Klaassen I think might just get the start anyway. Oddly enough, I think it's between Berghuis and Gravenberch, but I would actually go with Alvarez, Gravenberch, and Berghuis. And then also, you have the quick feet and incredible dribbling of Antony and Tadic. Great crossing ability as well. And Haller right in the middle, man. 10 goals in the group stage. 10 goals in the group stage. I'm enamored with this team. I think a lot of people are enamored with the other Ten Hag team that really should have made the final.
Yes.
4 years? Was it 4 years ago now?
3 years ago.
Is it only 3?
I thought it was 18, 19. Yeah, because that was Tottenham.
That's when Liverpool won. Yeah, it was only 3. It was only 3 years ago. They kind of fell off for a season. Yeah, you're right. It was 3 years ago, and then they rebuilt again. And it's like a whole new core, apart from Daily Blind and Klaassen and Tadic. That's about it.
I think it's a better team now.
I agree. I think it's a better team as well, which is saying a lot. Yeah. I think they can win this tournament. I think they can win the tournament.
They could. I'm taking 3-1 this game over Benfica. I think Benfica might get, a goal, but I think it'll be a dominant performance.
Sure.
Probably 2-0 half, 1-1 second half.
Yeah.
And
Benfica,
pretty much the tie's over if they win by 2 goals. I don't see them conceding more than 2 goals at home.
Yeah.
Probably not even 1, but great football to watch. And
Benfica's not hitting the heights this year either. I think they're like 12 points off of Porto. They've brought a new manager like in December from their youth setup. It just seems kind of like a write-off this season for Benfica, So I will be coming home to watch that match and just sinking my teeth into that because I want him at United. All right, Atletico United. Here we go. Put your morphine pills away. And,
are you nervous?
You know what?
Atletico haven't been playing well.
No, I'm not. I'm actually not nervous.
And they're conceding a lot.
I
know they just won 4-0.
They won 3-0 on the weekend at Osasuna, but they have conceded the most goals in the top 11 in La Liga. That's
very uncharacteristic of them.
No matter where they finish in the league, they're generally the least amount of goals. It's shocking. That team is a shell of itself, especially coming out 1 year after winning La Liga.
It's like a Lille year, pretty much.
I think it's a little different than that. I think with Lille, you can kind of temper your expectations a little bit, especially when you lose the manager that did that for you.
Mm-hmm.
This Atletico season, they've just completely crumbled, man. They've completely fallen apart.
I know. Barca's ahead of them. Oh,
yes, Barca's ahead of them. Atletico's in 6th right now, I think.
Yeah. You would have thought that 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when, what you call it was still there. What's his name? Koeman. And Xavi's done a great job so far in integrating the new signings. Everyone seems more inspired, but I don't know, this Atletico team, maybe is it the class of personalities in the dressing room? Like, is there a clash? I don't really get that. That's a United thing. I don't really get. Is there a clashing of personalities? There's a lot of rotation from game to game. There is. The midfield's always getting chopped and changed for sure. Like, there's no consistency. So how is that translated in the dressing room and training? Does he not trust anyone? That's why he's rotating so much. Is he trying to get too many players chances, and no one can really get into a form of consistency? I don't know. I do like Man United for this game, but Atletico. Bless me. Being at home is good for them this tie. Starting the tie off at home, they can really. I felt as though it's on the road, especially with there's no road goals. It could get out of hand, but at least they have a chance at home, and I think it'll be bigger for them to get a result in the first game for them to have the belief that they can do it in the second game. Do I think they can do it? This tie is really tricky. It is tricky. Such a gentleman, Pepper. I'm gonna lean with 2-1 United. Pepper blessed you. What? No, thank you. He also says Madrid versus United, Atletico Madrid versus United, like watching paint dry, or repeat of Leeds United. Yeah. I don't honestly. Some of the Atletico matches recently, you are getting Leeds vibes, man. Like what their comeback, their run of form has been terrible, and basically before Osasuna, their 2 wins were like a massive comeback against Valencia, desperation comeback, and down a man against Getafe. And getting it. Yeah. This is a close tie, but I think Man U are the better team. They don't always show it. They don't always show it, but this Atletico team is just, I don't know. It's like, Felix isn't even playing. What do you do with him if you're Atletico? Suarez, football. But the defense, but they don't have defenses here, and they're known for defense. And I think it's not even Savage has been hurt a lot, but he's been back for a while now. He's been back for the last 3 to 5 games, I would say. So that's not really aided them at all. Jimenez is kind of lost. He's only 27, Jimenez, but they just kind of lost it. Who's their midfield?
Who is he going to put in the midfield? Personally, for me, it's Koke and DePaul.
Yeah.
Those would be the two that I would go with, but I don't know.
DePaul hasn't really, he had a great Copa, but I don't know. For me, he hasn't really, I guess, played as well as I thought. Like when they signed him, I thought, oh, great signing.
Good signing, especially for Atletico. Like actually, it seems to suit them.
It hasn't really translated. And
yeah,
I watched a few games recently at Atletico, and I'm like, I don't see like what he's trying to do with him in this. He hasn't been playing the same way. Mm-hmm. I don't know who he's going to start. I really don't know. I would assume Suarez is starting. I don't think João Felix will start. It'll probably be Angel Correa.
I think we'll start Felix.
You think he'll start Felix?
I think so. I think you need a little bit of magic creativity and magic in the Champions League. I think he will start Felix. Also, just got picked up a goal and assist on the weekend too, so that's a good confidence boost for him. I think he goes with them. Let's flip it to Ranić and United quick. Who are you going with the midfield? Do you
probably Pogba and McTominay, but I would do Fred.
I would do Fred as well. I would 100% do Fred. But also, I mean, Pogba's been in great form of late, but he's always been possible just kind of ghosting, and if things are like hitting
and not
tracking back, if he can't deal with what I imagine Atletico at home being an intense, like a level of intensity, if he can't deal with it and Pogba kind of shies away, then that midfield is going to get overrun. If Pogba's not able to keep them honest defensively, they'll grab hold of that midfield. If you do McTominay and Fred to match the intensity and physicality, they get limited as well. Like they can get swamped by Atletico's defensive mindedness as well.
I think for this game you need Pogba to be able to make a key pass or to whip in a ball or just have that little spark to break down. Right, Fred and McTominay can't break down a defense. So I think Pogba has to start this, and I think Rangnick clearly likes McTominay over Fred. And as long as he can control his temper, I think that's who you start with. I'd probably do.
I agree with you, Fred and Pogba.
The only
Frogba. Give me Frogba.
The only doubt I would have is who is he starting along on the right side? Is he going to do Elanga or is it going to be Rashford?
It's going to be Rashford, man. It's got to be. It's got to be. Not that I necessarily agree with it, but Rashford didn't see the pitch against Leeds.
So he's saving him for this?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And what kind of Rashford are we going to get?
I know.
But I only know is that Ronaldo's in the head of Atletico. And I think it might do something. He just has their number always. I think he has like the third most goals out of any clubs he scored against, or maybe even the most against Atletico.
Yeah, but he needs service as well.
He does need service, but
so Pogba has to be. I agree with you. I think, but you know what? What if Ranić just kind of approaches it pragmatically, and it's like we can just nick a draw here, just try to shut down the midfield, make it like drawing paint.
But I don't know if it's a close tie going in back to Old Trafford. I feel better for Atletico, but I think you guys can win 2-1, 2-0. I think, but I'm going to say 2-1 just in case. I think there will be goals in this, though. I don't think it will be a defensive stalemate like it usually is with Atletico. When one or two goals is usually all you'll see in the
which we haven't been seeing this season. But for them, it's like they kind of have to get back to their grassroots, and United love to kind of play that. Like we don't have to actually soak up too much pressure. Like we'll see what happens. Just try to nick a mistake, and then we've been doing that for the last couple of years, even under Ranić still, because that mentality's there. I'm going to 1-0 United.
1-0.
Yep.
You think you can hold a clean sheet?
I think it's going to be really dull. I think it's going to be a really, really dull match. I do.
Oh, it's the Cristiano League, though. So,
it is,
and I don't see him losing to Atletico.
He did when you guys came back, when Juve came back against them. You guys were what did you guys lose? 2-0?
Yeah. No, I mean like losing the tie.
Losing the tie, yes. Sure. But they could easily lose this game. But I'm not nervous. This is like a bonus. I really think we should win this tie.
Are you nervous when the draw was made? When you drew Atletico?
No.
Oh.
No. I think we kind of covered it back then, and I've never been nervous about Atletico. I might eat that, but that's on United because really Atletico's there for the taking.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe you get lucky. You get Atletico, and then you get lucky with another draw the next round.
Juve.
And maybe we'll see. Okay. Quickly.
Yep.
Arsenal Wolves on Thursday. They just played each other like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. That was a makeup game, though, right?
That was, or this is.
This is the makeup.
This
game,
is this would be the makeup game.
And Wolves, they're in contention for maybe Champions League. I doubt it, but Europa League.
Absolutely.
They could displace one of the London teams or even United. And what is it? 3 wins in a row for them. And it was an impressive win against Leicester.
2 wins, rather, because they lost Arsenal 1-0.
Oh, yeah, they lost Arsenal 1-0, yes. And that was at home for Wolves, right? So this one's at Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
But, I actually do think this will be a good game. I don't think it'll be another 1-0.
Replace one of the London clubs. I think he meant Chelsea. Actually, is what he's saying. Chelsea's going to fall into seventh place.
No, I meant North London. Sorry, not West London. But their defense, obviously, for years everyone knows, and they've been scoring a bit more. And Arsenal, I know it was 2-1 against Brentford. They let in that late goal, but. I don't know. This is the Europa League battle now, and this is a great match. I don't know what to make of it.
Well, Arsenal's definitely they're in the driver's. They're in the driver's seat for Champions League for sure.
Yeah, but they have to win those games.
Yes, and I love.
They have games in hand, but you don't win those.
Wolves have actually started to bag them in.
Yes.
After the beginning of the season, they were creating plenty of chances. They just couldn't. They couldn't finish, and it's kind of coming together now. Finally. Nuri picked up a little bit of knock at the end of the match. They subbed him out, but I don't think he's actually going to miss this match. And he was looking very lively against Leicester.
Yeah.
And has been. Really, really great signing from Angers. And especially since Arteta's been there, Wolves Arsenal has been a really tight matchup. The results can go either way. And
I have 1-1 tie. I think this is one of the games where Arsenal they aren't going to win. They have 3 games in hand on United.
They do.
They're not going to win all 3. They'll probably win 1 or 2. But I don't see. I don't know. I do. Arsenal's so weird though.
They are.
You never know what to think. Even when I think they're going to play good, they play bad. When I think they're going to play bad, they play well. You never.
What do you get from that midfield pivot? What do you get from the Partey and Xhaka? What's going to happen there? And you know what? I see more consistency. I know they just beat. No, they just beat Wolves.
Yeah.
And I wish I kind of took a look back at that match again before we did this.
But they held on. Because they had the last 20 minutes down a man too.
Of course, they're down a man.
It was the Martinelli. Wasn't that the Martinelli?
That was the Martinelli game. You're right.
Double yellow.
That was the Martinelli game. Yeah, but you know what? They've been really good, and they should be at this point. They should be good down a man at this point because they're always down a man. But honestly, Wolves didn't really threaten that much.
They did.
And I've seen a number of times when Arsenal have gone down a man this season. They've looked okay. They looked great against City, and they were unfortunate not to at least get a draw there. They did it again against someone else as well. Fuck, they're really not. They don't really conceive any chances. I think the obviously the onus and the confidence when you're level is to go and attack more, and they kind of give up more chances when they're on a level playing field. Yes, thank you. But I'm kind of fancying Neves and Dendoncker or Neves and Matinho. I think she should go with Neves and Dendoncker, who's actually been in good form lately. And he's younger, he's more combative. Yeah. I'm gonna go 2-1 Wolves.
Well, I hope it's 2-1 Wolves. I would like to see them up there. But actually, I guess West Ham's London team too. I didn't even consider them. Mm-hmm. But I honestly think this will be cagey. I don't think there'll be a lot of chances for both teams, but I think both teams will capitalize on 1-1 tie.
You're going 1-1? Okay.
Yeah, 1-1.
All right. The Arsenal fans are going to love us for that one. No respect. No respect.
No, they have a lot of, games in hands. Near the end of the season,
it's not points on the board.
It's not points on the board, and it's more tired legs than other teams.
Yeah, but you know what? They've had no European football. So this is their version of European football, and it's focused. The only focus is the Prem. So You know what?
They
It's
should
it's
get it
it's, it's not to say that they haven't been the players haven't been conditioned for 2 games a week. It's not a bad thing for them.
Mhm.
I don't think it's actually that big of an issue. Okay, now let's and quickly. Pepper says, I think it may be 1-0. I don't know who bags it. However, ours is good for another red, which they did last year as well. David Luiz took that red against Wolves, and then they were all over Wolves. It was 1-0, and then Luiz took that red penalty at the end of the half, and then Leno made that huge mistake, and Wolves ended up winning 2-1.
Oh, right, yes.
So I think they took 2 reds.
Yeah, Leno took the red.
Yeah. No, but Luis took 1 too. They ended up 2 down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 down. Yeah, when Leno just handballed it.
Yeah.
That was. that was something. But
it was something, wasn't it? Okay, and guys, let's close with the EFL Cup.
Chelsea, Liverpool.
Mm-hmm. Mike, take us away on this one, please.
It's another final for Tuchel. And this game I think means more for Chelsea. Obviously, I think Liverpool have their sights set on the league and Champions League. So I think the onus is on Chelsea to take it to Liverpool. Obviously, both games they played this year have been draws, right? And I would say Chelsea were unfortunate in the first one. They
arguably the second as well.
Yes.
Could have been red card 5 seconds in.
He could have been too, but I don't know. I think Liverpool's still in this game. They're just, they're just too good, and I know. I know all. Yeah, well, that's all Liverpool do. Chelsea, what was their first? The win against Palace was their first time winning back-to-back Premier League games since October, I believe.
Ouch.
And it should have been a good red, yes.
Pepper was never going to let that one lie.
No, to me, it's a yellow. I see why it could be a red, and if you called it red, I could understand. But 10 seconds in a game like that, I know you shouldn't be thinking about that, but I thought it was fair. But going back to this game, Chelsea, with this game's Chelsea have been. I think the fatigue is going to set in for this game. Coming back from, where was it, Qatar? Where was it? I don't even know where it was.
Yeah.
And they didn't really look too great against Palace as well.
But what about the fact that, they didn't look great against Palace? No, but that was they still managed to eke out that win, and they get a whole week off. Liverpool's playing midweek.
Yeah, they are. This is great for Chelsea that they'll be able to rest, and they have Chelsea has Lille.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have Lille. I was like, wait, they don't have a week off. They have Lille, so both teams are at least playing. But African Cup of Nations for Mane and Salah, but they are just fit. They never miss. Even before African Cup of Nations, they're playing all 36 of 38 games.
All the time. And look at someone like Lukaku, who's always struggled with endurance. Like, I'd be gassed in half an hour.
Like Liverpool, you know what you're going to get. With Chelsea, you don't know what you're going to get. And that's why I'm more confident with Liverpool, but anything could happen in a final. It all depends. If Chelsea can keep a clean sheet in the first half, they have a chance to win. If they concede, I don't see them coming back against Liverpool. I know they did last time they played when it was 2-0, and they tied it up before half. But neutral, what is that? Wembley? It's at Wembley, right?
It's at Wembley.
Wembley. I don't know. I just see this is going to be a big Mane game. A big Mane game. And they're going to be so focused on stopping Salah and Arnold on the right, and having obviously, would you start Alonso? Probably not, right?
I would start Sarr. And he did so last week.
He
did so last week. And I would do it again. I think he looked, from what I saw, I didn't watch the match. From what I saw in snippets, he looked okay going forward. I've always liked Sarr. I thought it was a great pickup on the free from Nice. I would go with him. And then you've got, who's your back three? Who's
Rudiger, Silva, Christensen?
Yeah. I
think
you got to go with those three, and then you put Azpilicueta on the right.
Yeah, I think Mane, having...
You got to rotate tomorrow, though, because you can't be playing, Silva and Azpilicueta tomorrow. I don't think. I think Odoi tomorrow needs to get the start against Lille. And and you start Alonso. I think you maybe put Sarr in both these games, but you put Sarr in the back three tomorrow and put Alonso and Odoi on the wings tomorrow.
Against Lille?
Yeah.
No. I would say 2-0 Liverpool. I just don't see Chelsea breaking them down, and Liverpool's just riding too high.
And Conte and Kovacic, we trust indeed, Pepper. The midfield battle is just like I love when these two meet up for that midfield battle. And of course, you can see the wing backs bomb on. A shame for Chelsea, and as like from a neutral perspective, that James and Chilwell are out.
Yeah.
It's
a different. I think it's a different game that they play.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? Chelsea and Tuchel have been pragmatic since he's gone there, and they've adapted decently well, quite well, when he first got there, and still, quite respectably. Considering the circumstances, especially having James, who might be back for the final. He might be back,
but I don't think he will throw him in for that. I think he would save him for the league or Champions League at this point. But I wouldn't throw him right back in there. I
mean, think about where Chelsea are in the league. You've pretty much got top four secure.
Yeah.
But you're not winning the league, so that's basically a wash. And so you're focusing on trophies. I would say see how the half is going. See how he is. If you can name him to the bench, I'd bring him on. Second half.
Yeah, you can bring him on off the bench. I wouldn't throw him in as a start though.
No, I would. But if you're losing at halftime, I would bring him in at the stroke of the second half. Personally, I would get him right in there. It's a trophy. They've been to 3 finals in less than 12 months.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, man. It's really tough. It's a tough one. I was Pepper just said 2-2 Chelsea won on pens. Is there extra time now? In the final for this,
I think there's always been extra time.
It goes straight to
EFL.
It goes straight to pens. Chelsea's been in pens
for the finals.
Not for the finals. I'm asking.
I'm pretty sure there's extra time
in the finals.
Yeah,
but the rest of the tournament, there's been no extra time.
Yeah, but I think the finals different.
The finals is
yes. I think the finals.
It was and the Kepa subbed in for the pens. Okay, Pepper.
Yeah, that was.
They did go to extra time.
Yes, that was.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Was that also was that the game where Kepa refused to come off? Was that a EFL Cup final? That was
it was.
It was. When he faked the injury, I'm good.
I don't know. It's a really tough one. Mike, I know you think it's a walk, but
not a walk, but I think
you're calling 2-0 and you haven't given Chelsea the time of day.
Liverpool's just too good right now. They're just too good.
Are they stretched? Are they going to be stretched in the Champions League and Premier League?
No, they don't.
Being the focus. They haven't been in a final since they beat Spurs.
Okay, 2-0 is a walk. Okay, yes, but it's not gonna be like I meant like a goal in each half. A goal in each half. You're saying 1-1, aren't you? If Chelsea win, it's gonna be 1-0. But I don't see them shutting out with Liverpool, and I don't see them scoring 2 goals.
I can see them scoring 2 goals for sure. Liverpool love to leave themselves exposed. They love it.
I wouldn't say struggling against Norwich. They had a lot.
They had some chances.
They had half chances.
Well, and that Tsimikas one was a total sitter.
Really, you're still. You just say Chelsea then.
Conte, Kovacic, I think are the ones that you need to start the midfield for this.
No, yes.
Is Mount going to be back? It looks like he could be. There's a lot of questionable guys. I'm going 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going 2-1 Chelsea. It's a tough one. That's Sunday, eh? Sunday 11:30. What am I doing? Clearing the schedule, I guess. There's gonna be no Prem matches at that time. That's for sure, right? They always
make it. Hey man, if Chelsea win, good on them. But I don't think they will. I just don't see it. Not this
it's
time.
West Ham Wolves. Oof. West Ham Wolves on Sunday at 9 a.m. right before that.
That's a Europa League.
KTBFFH screams Pepper. Pepper, thank you so much for engaging again in chat. Pleasure as always.
Yeah. Hopefully they win. Don't think so. It's a walk.
It's a walk.
I'm confirming it. A walk. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay.
If you were more confident about Juve, I would have been more confident with Chelsea.
This is all just bitterness.
Oh, okay. Yes. There's some bad calls, okay? There are some bad calls.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Everyone, like, subscribe, tell your friends. And yeah, get in the chat like Pepper did. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. If it makes you feel better, I thought the Reece James red in the first game was a bit harsh.
Egregious.
That was a bit harsh. I thought it should have just been a yellow and a penalty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So tell your friends, like and subscribe, and we will be back next week. And will I be back beforehand with the Manchester United rebuild episode?
I think it all depends.
I've been threatening that for 3 weeks, but will I? We'll see.
If Atletico beat you guys, for sure it will be.
Nothing's changing.
It will be for sure next week.
No, listen, I will tell you this right now. Nothing changes my mind based on the result for Atletico. Okay. Nothing changes. I know what I want to do. I know what I think United would do. The one thing that it might change is what I think United might do. But that's it. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. We'll be back. Take care.
See.
2 for me, baby.